Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. And today I wanted to discuss how YouTube has helped my mental health. Quite a bold statement, to be honest with you, but bear with me on this. So, a little bit of history. I've suffered throughout my life with problems with my mental health, depression, etc. And I've had probably a couple of breakdowns during that time. So back in 2017, that was my most recent breakdown. I can describe a breakdown, probably the best way to describe it is like you're aware of what you're doing, but you're not in control of what you're doing. So you're effectively sort of sat back watching the events of your life unfold, and you're screaming inside, why have you said that to this person? Why have you taken that particular action? You shouldn't be doing that. What are you doing? I would also say that everything, sort of memories from then, are tinged with an element of grey. They're almost sort of foggy. They're not clear. I mean, a good example of sort of my memory is I can remember the car that my infant teacher drove, and this was back in 1983. Incidentally, it was a 1975 Morris Marina Super Deluxe. I think it was 1.8, if I remember rightly. It was in a burgundy colour. I can't remember the exact name of the colour. I should know, seeing as it's a British Leyland product. I do kind of like British Leyland products. But I remember that clearly. I remember other elements in my life with sort of vivid full colour recollection. But whenever I've sort of gone through my breakdown periods, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and back in 2017, it's very grey, very foggy. You don't really you can't really remember. You can remember the events, but you can't remember the events in clarity, if that makes sense. So I've always had the hobbies which I run through on my channel, the hobbies that I cover. So my electronics hobbies, for example. I can't reach back to the Sony, but there's a Sony. There's the Ferguson there, the one that I've most recently repaired. And beyond this curtain here is the Jag. So I've always had those hobbies. I've always had electronics as an interest, cars as an interest. And after my breakdown, I went to counselling. I went through the counselling process, which was very useful. And I decided that I wanted to give YouTube a go. I wanted to actually indulge my hobbies and filming what I'm doing, even if it is just for myself, was a way of being able to indulge the time and allocate the time to be able to run through repairing something or fixing something and learning something new, for example. Now, because I had that sort of almost enforced time where every Sunday or every Saturday I've got to do a hobby, that has meant that I'm sticking to a routine. And because with YouTube, if you don't upload for a week or so, you don't become as relevant with the viewing figures, etc. I'm sort of thinking, yeah, I've got to keep something uploaded just to sort of keep people viewing my channel. Otherwise, I'll be back at step one again. But that sounds very stressful. I don't mean it to, but I think the whole act of going through, making the video, filming something to do with the hobby which I'm indulging in, keeps my mind off other things. It keeps me occupied, and I enjoy it. I enjoy making the content. I may not be the best content producer. I may not have millions and millions of subscribers, but I started in 2018 with 50 subscribers. I now have just a touch over 1,800. And I just want to extend a thanks to everybody that has subscribed. Keep subscribing, keep watching. It is a boost for, well, a boost for my mental health, really. It does sort of help that people are watching. It helps to know that people are watching and people are hopefully enjoying and finding the content useful. The couple of things, if you do want to get involved with YouTube, I use a standard mobile phone camera. I don't use any professional camera equipment. I do use Filmora as my video editor, which is quite versatile and quite good if you are just getting started with the basics of video editing. And I tend to not really pay too much attention to the comments. There are some comments which I read, which I think that's really good. Thank you very much for saying that, and I'll give them a like and I'll respond. Some of the comments offer actually really good advice about how to fix a particular problem, and some of the comments are thanking me for producing the video because it's helped somebody else fix their problems, and that's the sort of kind of things that you want to see. Now, you need to balance those comments with the ones where people say, this is a rubbish video, you should have done it this way. And the way I like to sort of think or respond to those is, yeah, you know what, you might be right. Now, could you post a link to the video that you've created where you show how the process is done properly? Because I'd love to link it to my description, maybe even update my video to link it to your video as well. And it's weird how they never respond to those requests, but anyway. The thing is, the internet can be a strange place. It can be sort of a representation of people's most innermost angst, anger, and other negative feelings and emotions. If you cast your mind back to the early days of the internet, we had a whole thing of netiquette, no flaming, for example. In other words, don't write in capital letters when you're addressing someone because that can be construed as shouting. Doesn't seem to matter anymore, everybody does it. I tend to sort of operate the ethos of speak to somebody how you would expect to be spoken to in person. So don't go ahead and call them all kinds of slurs, names, etc. Just be polite and kill with kindness. If somebody's rude to you, be polite back to them. But yeah, don't get too involved with the comments. If you're starting out for the first time and people start leaving poor comments, just think of it of, well, they're commenting on my video. That will benefit the algorithm. It drives engagement. So carry on commenting, even if it is negative. The other thing is there are videos out there on how to upload the video, how to select the right category, how to use the tags, etc., and how to create a great thumbnail, how to create the title, how to fill out the description, all of that sort of stuff. I've tried various methods and some work better than others, but there are other videos which will sort of cover that, which are available. But as a sort of a basic rule, I try to create the description to match the video file name. So when I create the video, I'll actually name the video file to be the same name as the one I'm going to use in the title. In the description, I'll start off with, in today's video, we're taking a look at XYZ. Then the next paragraph will be a deep dive into what we're actually doing, what I've actually found, and any tools or items that you'll need in order to complete the job. In fact, some of my most popular videos have had very long descriptions with links to external parties. The microservicing video, for example, has had quite a few views, and that does have quite a lengthy description. So the more time that you take over the little basic things like that, the more sort of yield it may actually have. Then there's your tags. I tend to use a mixture of generic tags and specific tags. So, for example, this Ferguson behind me, I used a tag of how to change a CRT, how to change a cathode ray tube, how to change a tube in a retro telly. I also used Ferguson TX85, Ferguson 14J1. So anybody searching for those terms should be presented with your video as one of the options for viewing. Ultimately, if you're doing it casually like me, it's not a good idea to get too sort of wrapped up in it. People are not viewing my videos. Well, I get some videos where people are viewing, I get 40 views. 40 people have viewed my video. Yeah, it's not millions of people, but 40 people have viewed something that I've created. That's brilliant. I'm glad that they have, and I hope that they've enjoyed what I've created. If it's only 40 people viewing it, that's still better than 0. So, you know, you're creating the material, somebody's going to watch it, is what I'm trying to sort of come to. Other things that have helped my mental health, certainly one of the big things back in late 2018 was I completely got rid of my original Facebook account. I think I had around 130 friends on there. Friends, probably the best way to describe it. You soon find out when you get rid of your Facebook account who remains in contact and who does not remain in contact. So I now have a much smaller Facebook account, which I don't actively post on. I use it to monitor some of the groups that I help administer. I use it to post YouTube content that I've created in said groups. But I have a total of 27 contacts. Most of those are family. Most of them are the small group of friends that I have. And as somebody keeps saying to me, it's quality, not quantity. So that's sort of the thing to remember. You also find that you are constantly sort of comparing your life against somebody else's when you're on Facebook, because everybody seems to have the everybody seems to have the most perfect manicured life available. The thing to remember is, like those sort of reality TV shows where the person being booted out has their best bits. That's literally what it is. It is just the best bits of your life. I mean, they're not showing they're not taking photographs of the point where they got to clean up the dog mess, or they got to clean the cat litter trays, or they got to, fill out a tax return or pay a bill. It's always the best bits. And then if they're showing you a completely clean room, there's going to be a mess somewhere else. It's only like that for the photo. That's the thing that you sort of need to remember. It's all appearance. I've waffled for long enough, I think. I would close off by saying that in my instance, in my example, YouTube has definitely helped my mental health. I'd like to take the opportunity, because I've been doing this for nearly 6 years now, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everybody for subscribing, thank everybody that's taken the time to watch my videos, and keep subscribing, keep watching. More content is going to be coming very soon. So, take care, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.